Welcome everyone to the Global Coherence Pulse, and happy spring equinox for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere. And if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's beautiful fall equinox for you. And it's amazing that there's always that balance that's occurring on the planet. And we're really excited that you decided to join us here today, whether you're coming on Zoom right now, and if you're coming on, if you'll just take a minute to put your name and where you're calling from in the chat. We'd love to be able to say hello to you and see where we're all coming in from. I also want to put a shout out to the people coming in through Awake TV. They're live streaming it today. We have Amanda Masters and Bree with us today. And thank you so much, you guys, for getting this out to the masses on Awake TV. Really excited for our partnership. Again, if you're coming on Zoom, put your name in the chat, and we'd love to see where you're calling in from. And right now, while we're getting kind of settled and everybody's coming in, we'd also encourage you to download the Global Coherence app. You can get that in the App Store or in the Play Store. And if you just put in Global Coherence, you'll find it and you can download it. And I'm just pulling mine up right now. There's a map here where we can see where people are coming in from all around the planet. And it's a really nice opportunity. It's not required, but it's a great way for us to see how many people are coming on. And it's actually really something to start to see all the lights coming in on the map. So again, we want to welcome everyone. You know, beautiful, happy spring day. Also a very precarious and unprecedented time on the planet for us to be joining together. We started this initiative before the coronavirus crisis began to happen, and us all being sheltered in. And I really feel very honored. I think we all do, everybody that's on the call today, all of our partners, feel very honored and a very potent moment that we chose right now to start this first pulse. And I also want to acknowledge that there are initiatives and events and meditations and things happening all over the planet today, both to honor and celebrate the spring equinox or fall equinox, depending on where you are, and also to raise the vibration of the planet, to support us to nourish ourselves and stay more centered as we begin to move forward into really a radically new time. And so we're here as a collective group today, and I have a feeling in my meditation this morning, I began to feel already into the juicy field of this day, that during this time that we have together, that we're actually going to do something quite profound. And I think my intention and goal would be that at the end of this session, that you feel nourished and grateful and really a profound sense that you have a greater capacity to stay present and coherent in the face of whatever comes. So that's my intention. Let's see how we go with that. So a global coherence pulse, it's something new, so we want to spend a little time in the beginning just letting you know a little bit about this initiative. And normally the pulses would last about 30 minutes. We'd start with an intention or a centering. We would go into a heart-centered practice, and then we would have a closing where we would pulse whatever energy we generated out onto the planet. And then the organization that was hosting it might have a little time to spend to let you know about their mission and their purpose and their offerings. Since today that we want to give you a little intro into what we're doing with the Global Coherence Pulse, will last a little bit longer than 30 minutes because we don't want to compromise the experience that we can generate together by adding more love and more coherence for ourselves internally and for the planet. So I'm just going to start with that little overview, then we'll go to the meditation, and then we'll have a beautiful closing. And maybe while we're doing this intro, you can take some time to get settled, you know, to really get relaxed and be in a place where you're not going to be interrupted, and take a minute to download that Global Coherence app, because we'd love to see your little shining presence on the map. All right. So just a little introduction of the Global Coherence Pulse initiative. I'm just going to take a deep breath because I'm so just excited about being here and just really wanting to acknowledge and honor as we get started with this first pulse, the modern and ancient traditions of collective coherence practices that have come before us and those that will continue to ripple out around the world right now. It's these simple and timeless practices that go right to the heart of the matter, really right to the heart of the matter, and can quickly uplift our systems, our health, our well-being, and really uplift our capacity to impact the whole in a positive way. And our intention for these global coherent pulses is to powerfully and lovingly and effectively contribute to increasing heart coherence on this planet, individually and collectively, for the benefit of all of life. And we envision that as we do that, a more compassionate, heart-centered, and thriving world will emerge. And it'll emerge through each of us and ripple out from right here. There's a number of things that are unique about the initiative, and I thought that we could just touch on 3 of them today in this brief introduction. And the first one I'll share about is that we are leveraging the power of synergy. We really represent a growing collaboration of organizations that are choosing to synergize our efforts on behalf of the communities and the missions that we serve. Because we believe that our impact is vastly greater than the sum of our parts. And we're choosing to explore and model what that really means here, and to stretch ourselves as needed to actualize our actual potential for synergy. And I'll say I'm saying it like that because in the 20 years that I've been serving this mission, there's been lots of times where we've talked about synergizing our efforts as organizations. And I'm sad to say that I never saw it actually really materialize. And it would always sound good, everybody would be up for it, but it was never easy in the current structures that engender, temporary rewards of competition over cooperation. And yet I can feel it in all of the conversations I'm having and all the partnerships that we're developing, is that in this time of unprecedented crisis and change, the world is really going to be different from this moment forward. That this group of organizations, and I know many more out there, believe that it's the only way through and forward from here. And we're really committing to get dirty and to really figure out what that means to do it. And I just want to take a moment. You can see there's other faces on the line here. And I just want to spotlight some of our partners that are present. As you saw, Amanda Masters and Bree from Awake TV, they're really stepping up across the board with so many different organizations and saying, we'll host it, we'll host it, we'll host it. We're just across the board. So thank you guys. You can see we have a big crew from Earth Dance Global. Matt and Sandra there, Michael Gosney. I think there's some other teammates from Earth Dance. They really did a great job of getting the pulse out, and I think a lot of you are here on their behalf. We have Roland Mccready from HeartMath there. He's up in my corner. He is the Director of Research for HeartMath Institute, and really he has just been on this track for so many years, and so grateful for the pioneering work that you guys have been doing. Claudia, I'll introduce you in 2 ways. Definitely my partner in the Global Coherence Pulse, and also just really a founder of the Global Coherence Initiative. And again, we've been dreaming of this moment for a long time together, Claudia, and I'm really, really excited that we're right here, we're manifesting it. We have ARC Crystal. Andrea there is representing the ARC Crystal team. We have Dirk and who else? Oh, Hillary. We have Dirk and Hillary from the Coherence Hotspots on with us. We have Rachel and Tammy from Unify. Rachel, lovely to have you on, Executive Director of Unify, and having a little bun in the oven. Rachel, today I'm going to dedicate some of this energy to that beautiful baby that you're birthing there.
Sorry,
So
see
sweet.
Tammy. That's gonna be doing all the great things. Tammy's the executive director and the expected mother.
Yes. Isn't that what I said? I'm sorry if I
Oh
messed
no,
that
it's
up
okay. I
yet.
think you were looking at my picture. I just didn't want to take away from Tammy's brilliance. So
Yes. And then other partners that are not here with us today. We have the Resonance Science Foundation, Thrive, IONS Community Groups, 1440 Multiversity, Upward Spirals, Gene Keys, American Meditating, Live It Now Productions. Uplift TV just came on. They have some global days of unity that are actually happening right now. We'll talk about that a little bit more at the end of the call. A Coalition for Global Unity, and more. And all of these organizations have really been pioneering and activating the power of collective presence and love and action, and they have great resources to share. So each time we have a pulse, a different organization will host it. They'll be able to share their love and genius with you, guide the meditation, and then be able to share some of what they're doing. And as our website grows, we'll have resources and information about all the partners so that you have a rich place to go to learn about other things that you can engage in. So the second thing that's really exciting about our initiative is the fact that it's really a research initiative. And Roland, I'm gonna go to you to just share a little bit about how people can engage in the research project that we have.
Great, thanks, Teresa, and welcome everyone to the first Global Coherence Pulse. We are, of course, here at the HeartMath Institute, we're very much about research, and we founded the Global Coherence Initiative. I think that is spawning this about 12 years ago. And part of the research, there are many aspects. I'm going to try and be brief here, but we have an opportunity here by bringing all of our organizations together to really bring more and more people to simultaneously pulse coherent heart energy into the earth. And we want to measure that. We want to measure the effect of that and be able to correlate that with us and how coherent we are as individuals, as humans here on earth. And that's why Teresa has invited you to download the app. And one of the really neat things about I hope you can see that Global Coherence app, is the fact that it has a map. So I see right now there's 354 of us using the app in real time. And we have people all across the United States, Hawaii, Australia, all across Europe. We've got Greece, Turkey, Romania, Iran, Morocco. I mean, you can all see them on the map. So we can tell where you are, but we can also measure if you have one of the sensors, which isn't required, but hopefully a lot of you will do that for research down the road. So we can actually measure our collective coherence and what we're adding to the field, to the global field. And on how we're measuring that, or will be measuring that down the road here a little bit, is we have a global network of magnetometers that are measuring the Earth's resonant frequencies and how we interact with and affect those. And we've already published quite a bit of research on that. For those of you interested, I'll make some of that available on the website as well, the Global Pulse website, Global Coherence Pulse. But we're also getting ready to establish a global network to measure the electrical potential of trees. Okay, so one of our hypotheses here is that we're all interconnected. We sort of, I think, probably if you're here, you probably know that already intuitively, but we want to put science to that. How do we measure that? And so we believe that all living systems are interconnected literally through the Earth's magnetic fields and the magnetic fields that our hearts generate. So trees are a great living system, other than humans, that we're measuring that we can all participate in, those that want to put the electrodes in trees. They don't run away. They're great subjects. They don't mind a couple of electrodes in them. So we can monitor them 24/7 around the world and see if they respond to such as the global coherence pulses that we're all doing together. We're also partnering, and actually will be taking over in partnership with Dr. Roger Nilsson, the Global Consciousness Project, which is also a global network of devices that are actually proving over the last a little over 20 years now, that our coherence and our consciousness matters, that we can measure effects in the physical world. In other words, when we come together and we amplify our coherence, we can actually measure this. So what we have emerging here is something never before possible in history. So we'll have the global consciousness, global network of devices. We'll have trees and our magnetometer site. And most importantly, we can measure us through the app and how coherent we are, how many of us are here together so we can get a real number, real statistics, and how coherent are we as a collective. So some really awesome things are coming down the pike here that we'll be able to do on the research side. So thank you, Teresa, for the opportunity to share that. I'm really excited about it, as you can tell, and I'll turn it back over to you.
We're really excited about it too, Roland. I mean, it is really fantastic that we're not only coming together to have an experience, but that we have a commitment to really measuring it and reflecting back like our success and our challenges and all of that, so that we can really learn to cultivate it for real in our lives. So appreciate what you guys are doing there. And the third thing I want to say, so we're really going to model organizational synergy. We're really going to go for it. We're going to do this as a real living research project, and all of you are involved. And the third thing is that we're going to focus our coherence pulses on heart-centered meditation and practices. And I wanted to go to Claudia Wells, who's my partner in this endeavor here, just deep in my heart, and just to share a little bit about why we're really choosing to use heart-centered meditation practices as kind of the core of our offering.
Thank you, Teresa. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Roland. Well, I'd like to share that I think we're here because we know it's time to walk our talk. It's time to send the planet love, and not only thoughts of love that actually may be riding on the frequency of fear, but the kind of love that moves the world, even while much of the world's not moving, even while many of us are in self-isolation. The reason we're focusing on heart coherent meditation, the reason our supporting science is a science of the heart, is because the heart has everything to do with whole system coherence. And it's time to take coherence from an intellectual construct, which is something we talk about, to embodiment, something we become. And the heart is our greatest source of leverage in that becoming. Our heart signals naturally become more coherent when we're experiencing love or gratitude and other regenerative emotions. And this orchestrates coherence in the entire body through resonance, in the same way that it orchestrates greater coherence in our collective field because of our profound interconnectedness. The famous physicist Ilya Prigogine showed that when a system is far from equilibrium, and I think we can say that's where we are now, small islands of coherence can shift the entire system to a higher order. And it sounds like poetry, but it's actually indigenous wisdom, and it's also science. That heart coherence is the body's signal that we're embodying the love that remembers our connectedness. We can condition our hearts in the same intentional ways that we educate our brains, in the same intentional ways that we exercise our muscles. And that's the difference between love that has the power of like a 40-watt bulb and love that has the power and precision of laser light. That's the kind of love that doesn't just move the world, but that can transform the world. And that's why we're sending this global heart coherence pulse together.
Beautiful. I love that quote. I love that quote, and I put it in the chat, and I'm going to do it again because I know people are like really want to kind of take that in. And I know for myself, the first time that I heard that, it was 20 years ago or so when I was working with Barbara Marx Hubbard. She seems to claim it as her quote, but it was Ilya Prigogine who said it. This moment that I heard it, I actually knew that we were the answer. And I think that it set me on my own path of practice and service. Like that moment, the moment that it was said, I knew that it was the answer, that we were the answer, and that there would come a time when we would be needed. And I've been feeling that coming for a while, that it's time for us to cultivate our capacity to generate our coherent presence on this planet right now. It's needed from us right now. And with that, I'd really like to begin to move into our practice. So if we can all just take a moment to settle in and be fully present for this. As I said, I think that we have an opportunity right now, today, right in this moment, in the field of so many people coming together, really feeling like there's something that we can be doing right now to make a difference. That today, right here in this moment, that we can begin to seed a very, very powerful presence inside of ourselves. And we can really affect some change on the planet today, in this moment together. And with all the other events happening, I think ours is one of the first ones. So perhaps our energy can begin to create a beautiful, graceful opening for so much more love to pour in throughout the day. Bree, why don't you spotlight my video just for a minute, because I'm going to have our meditation begin with a mudra. So we're going to create a living circuit in our bodies. This meditation isn't about going out into the cosmos. This meditation is about going in and activating the innate potential that we have for embodied coherence. Right? So we're going to start with a mudra. And we're going to start by putting our right hand over our heart, kind of our heart chakra, not so much our physical heart, but our heart chakra. And then we're going to place our left hand over our right hand, and we're going to connect our thumbs. And this brings the meditation right down into the physical body. And you can kind of feel like, take your hands away for a moment and then put them back on. You can feel just this motion, just the start of this meditation, just this mantra, just this mudra begins to settle our nervous system and bring the meditation right down into our bodies. And the second thing that we're going to do in activating the circus is that we're going to bring in our breath. And so if we just kind of close our eyes now and begin to bring our attention to our hands right here over our heart, and our breath rising and falling under our hands. So allow yourself to really settle and relax. Just let your breath and your hands bring you fully present into this moment now, right here, right now. And the third thing that we're going to do in order to create this circuit is that into our hands on our bodies, we're going to send compassion and loving presence. Just send love into our own bodies like we would just our precious child. Those three things are our hands lovingly on our bodies, sending loving presence, our breath, and our focus on our heart. Create a circuit. And now I want to invite you for a moment to feel the bottom of your feet. Feel your connection to this beautiful, beautiful mother planet that sustains our life. And for a moment, have your feet do what your hands are doing, sending loving, compassionate presence through your feet into the earth. And this connects our circuit with the earth. And as we breathe and send this loving presence, we begin to resonate and align with her heartbeat and her current. And we allow this to flow through our body. Just continuing to see if we can like align our heartbeat with her heartbeat. Sending loving presence through our hands and our feet. Really allow yourself to fully receive everything that will occur from this moment forward for your deepest and highest benefit. Really allow this time to be nurturing for you. So with this circuitry activated, I invite us now to put our attention in the center of our heart chakra. I'm going to invite us to begin to call forth inherent qualities that are present at the center of our being here. And I want us to know that in this shared field, all of us together, that we can receive and do more than we could alone. So allow yourself to relax and be held and open to more than you think you're capable of. And know only what you're capable of will flow. You can relax. So the first quality I invite us to evoke and to ask to be like liberated from the center of our being to flow through this circuitry is compassion. Boundless, infinite compassion. The compassion that's available at the center of your heart is immense. And as you breathe, you can open to allow more of it to flow from the center of your being out into your blood, into your breath. Feel it moving down your arms and into your hands, down through your feet, completing the circuitry. Use your breath to allow more compassion to move through you, through the circuitry of your being. This is your natural state. We're designed compassion, infinite, abundant, boundless compassion. Now back, putting our attention on the center of our hearts. We evoke the energy of innate harmony. It's that stillness in the chaos, the eye of the hurricane, the capacity to stay present and centered in the face of whatever comes. This capacity is alive in us. It's invited to flow through the circuitry of our bodies, our blood and our breath, to our bones and our cells, down our arms and into our hands and into our feet, and back into our body, completing the circuitry. Innate harmony. It's alive right in the still point at the center of our being. And now flowing through our body and through our circuitry. And we add to this compassion and innate harmony, healing presence. We invite the energy of healing presence to rise up from the center of our being and flow through our blood and our breath. We are a healing presence on this planet. And feel that healing presence flow throughout your body, down your arms and into your hands. And really take a moment to bring this healing presence into your whole being. Healing your sweet heart. And in this moment, silently say to yourself, I am a healing presence on this planet. And with the next breath, and I am whole and healed. And now adding to the energy of compassion and innate harmony and loving presence, healing presence. Let us open ourselves up more fully to invite in the energy, the infinite energy of unconditional love. Is this energy that permeates the unified field we all share. And when we open to it, it becomes the living expression of our embodied presence. And so let's breathe together and really invite as much unconditional loving presence to move throughout our circuitry, through our blood and through our breath and through our bones. And through our hands into our hearts to complete the circuitry and down into our feet and into the earth. And know that doing this together allows us to receive and generate more than we could do alone. So open more than you've ever opened before and let this essential nature flow through your circuitry now. Really let yourself take all this in for you, on behalf of you. This thriving world starts right here inside you, inside me, inside us. Now with our hands on our hearts and our feet on the earth, let's begin to radiate these inherent qualities that we've now amplified out into the world in a global pulse. So let's start first with the compassion that is now flowing through us and through our hands into us. And ripple that out into the place that you are sheltering in right now, into your home, into your temple. Let the whole space be permeated with infinite, abundant compassion. Out into your garden, out into the spaces all around where you live, in your neighborhood. Out into the communities that surround you. And feel our collective waves and ripples are blanketing everything. They're filling everything with this beautiful energy of compassion. Out into the state that you're in, your country. And feel it now rippling all across this beautiful planet. Compassion. It's right here inside of us. Ripples out. And then we add to that ripple innate harmony. We ripple out the ability to stay present and calm in the face of whatever comes. Allow that to fill the space that you're sheltering in, your home, your temple, your garden, the space around you. May this feeling of innate harmony begin to fill the cells and the life force of everything around you in your community, in your state, in your country. Let us all anchor in this experience of innate harmony so that we can stay present and respond with loving presence. Feel this ripple out all across the planet. Continue to breathe and open. Allow yourself to receive and conduct more and more and more energy. And lastly, we add to this ripple of compassion and innate harmony and healing presence. Oh, let us send a ripple of healing presence into our homes and our families, our friends, our loved ones, our communities. To all of the people who are suffering right now, to the elderly, to the children, to all of the beings on this planet, to all of life. Really sending this loving, loving, healing presence. May it permeate everything, everything, everything right now. And as it ripples out across the planet, it ripples inside and it continues to heal our sweethearts so that we can extend more and more healing presence. And then finally, we add to this energy of compassion and innate harmony and healing presence the infinite power of unconditional love. May we all rise right now with our breath and allow a wave of unconditional love to wash across this planet, with not one thing left untouched. Feel it in your heart right now. Feel it. The feeling is what brings the potency. Not one thing untouched by the ripple of our global coherence pulse. And now bringing our attention and our energy back down into our own heart. Feeling our breath and our hands on our heart. Feeling our feet lovingly caressing and sending energy to this beautiful planet, and feeling our mother sending her love and energy into the circuitry of our being. And for a moment, just in silence, let's just allow ourselves to just be bathed in this beautiful energy that we generated, energy inherent in our being. Take a deep breath and maybe let out a sigh, and just maybe move your body just a tiny bit, keeping the mudra of the hands over your heart, but just allowing yourself to really feel this all the way. It's in every cell. And know that together we were able to receive and activate and release more and more of this energy into our bodies and our lives, and that it's anchored here, it's present here. We have this now. And let's send one more ripple of love into the community that's been doing this pulse together. Let's feel ourselves connect with one another right now and send our gratitude. And then if our presenters would unmute their lines for a moment, perhaps we can end and close this prayer with 3 ohms. And just open our lines for a minute and take a deep cleansing breath first, and just let some sound out. Really settled into our bodies. And on the next breath, let's do 3 ohms. Here we go. In breath. And then we slowly, as we open our eyes, we also lift our hands from our hearts, kind of releasing that circuit, and move them into a namaste position. Mm. 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 Thank you so much, everyone, for joining your love and presence in such a powerful way in the field. And I'm going to take a minute to pull some links together for you, and we're going to be sharing some things about other things that are happening today. But I wanted to just allow any of our team, if you wanted to just offer any words into the field. I'm doing that. Please just unmute yourself, and you can offer in your voice if you'd like. And I'll get some links for us. How are you feeling, guys? How are we feeling? Whew. Hmm.
I think we're all feeling at such peace. It's hard to communicate because I am in such a state of presence. I had tears. I had a lot of energy moving through. I could feel like a toroidal field all the way through my being, through the Mother Gaia and around. And then you talk about the ripple effect, right? Us pulsing out across the geomagnetic field of Earth. I could really feel that energy moving out in all directions. And I want to say thank you, and I honor you for your work and mastery. Really bringing us into a profound state of presence. And I see so many stunning comments on the webinar chat. If you want to share any of those, it's absolutely beautiful. So thank you.
I'll make a quick comment, Roland here, the scientist in me. I was kind of watching, for those of us that had the pulse sensors and measuring our actual heart rhythm coherence. I don't know how many of us, there were quite a few, I think. There were over 350 at one time that we were in the app. But I would say the average coherence level of the entire community and group was around 3 or 3 above 3, which I rarely see in such a large group. So that was just awesome, how coherent we actually were, measurably. And I look forward to seeing that grow as we continue the work with this wonderful community that's come together here.
Yay, that's so lovely to hear. I could really feel everyone and everything. I had tears too. There were times where I wasn't sure I was going to be able to take in any more love. And feeling my own hands on my body sending that energy was really something. I feel like just those simple things we can tap into any moment that we're feeling challenged by what we're facing right now. Just even putting our hands on our hearts and paying attention to our breath and our feet on the ground and sending loving presence, that right there can shift everything. And I hope we'll, over this month, continue that practice. I'm going to put some links in the chat because there are so many amazing events, and I can see some people are already doing that. So if you know of an event right now, put it in the chat. I saw that there's something with Java Pramal and Metan. Right now, we actually aligned our first pulse today with the Global Days of Unity, and you can see that there's a URL right there to go to the Global Days of Unity. They have a whole calendar of events that are happening today. I know there was something I could read. Maybe Claudia, oh, she's not there. I'm going to pull that up for a minute to see the Global Days of Unity. We're aligned with it. They're also launching this weekend, and we invite you to join their online event at 7 p.m. tonight called Uplifting the Field. So we were kind of beginning, I think, this morning, and I think they'll be carrying us through. I'm going to add another link right now to, let's see, the Gene Keys have an event happening actually at 1 o'clock, just in a few minutes. They're going to be doing a global meditation. Richard Rudd is offering one there. That's also free, and I'm putting that in the chat right now. And then there's Amanda and I and many others are involved in a new coalition for global unity. And we're going to be doing on Mondays at noon, every Monday for 52 weeks. We're going to be putting out a beautiful meditation, a different thought leader, a different organization will be hosting each one of those. So there's some amazing things to stay connected to today. And I hope that this time that you spent with us in the Global Coherence Pulse nourished your being in a way, and that you really felt an uplifting in your ability to cultivate coherence in your life. It's really real. It's right here. We have everything that we need to be this island of coherence, because we are the answer, and the answer is right here. We don't need to look anywhere else, but we do need to get serious about committing to our practice of cultivating this connection and this energy in our lives. And so please join us on the Global Coherence Pulse website. Join us every time you see us go out, because we'll continue to be doing this. And please pay attention and join the things that are happening today. And I just want to, again, just leave if there's anyone from our team that would like to offer some closing words. Sandra up in Hawaii there with the Earth Dance, or Dirk, anyone else that would like to just say a few words in closing. Yeah, Dirk, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Teresa. It was so beautiful, and I could feel the pulse. Of course, as being a representative from Coherence Hotspot, this was a huge hotspot online. It's very healing for the planet, and I'm very grateful how you are able to marry science and the more esoteric aspects of who we are. So thank you very much, and to everyone who is supporting us and all the beautiful chats that are coming out there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. What a beautiful community. I feel so blessed. Anybody else? Claudia, do you have any closing words today? I'm so grateful we get to do this together, my sister. Yeah.
Me too. Thank you, Teresa, and everyone.
Yeah. And Sandra and Matthew, did you want to say a quick from Earth Dance up there? Really want to thank you guys so much for putting out such a big, strong pulse. You got tons of people coming on through Earth Dance, and these guys have been doing it for many, many years. And yeah. And lastly, Amanda and Bria, I just want to thank you for hosting on Awake TV. These guys are doing so much. Amanda's got kids at home, just like so many of you that are sheltering in, and she's just rocking it. She just continues to show up. And so thank you to everyone. Thank you for all that you're doing. And please tune into this practice, this simple practice, anytime that you need it, and know that you're always connected to the field. And the pulse is with you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Teresa.
Stunning, Teresa. Thank you for
Thanks, everyone.
For creating this home base for all of us to tune back into before the next pulse.
Yeah, beautiful. And we'll make this meditation available on our website. We'll make the recording available so that if you want to continue that practice or touch back into it again, you can. And just know anytime that we do that, we're connected back into this moment and into this real pulse that we created on the planet. So blessings, everyone.